Hello everyone, and welcome to the best place for entrepreneurs and corporate professionals who want management tips to lead your team towards business success. My name is Jaboria Scott, and I'm a leadership coach and management consultant. When it comes to this topic of how to reinvent yourself for a happy life and happy career, knowing where to start can be challenging. I know from past experience what it feels like when you're not the version of yourself that you dream of becoming. And when I look at my life now, I can honestly say that I'm grateful and proud of the version of who I was in the past who decided to make a change. I said to myself, the next few months are gonna pass by anyway, so why not go all in? And now I'm asking you the same question. In this episode, I'll share a few tips about how to reinvent yourself in 2025 and embody your leadership role to become the boss that you desire to be, with my blueprint on how I used YouTube to become unrecognizable in a good way. First, let me say that this episode about how to reinvent yourself in 2025 hits home for me because I know what it feels like to feel so far away from the version of yourself that you dreamed of becoming in terms of your profession or your career. Let's face it, we spend so much of our time at work that our professional life is a big part of what we do. So, it's normal to have it as an important focus area of our lives. Here's the good news. It'll take just a few simple shifts to reinvent yourself and radically shift into the business professional that you dream of. And you can leverage YouTube as a tool to help you do it, just like I did. Tip number one for how to use YouTube to become unrecognizable in 2025 is become the hero of your own story. A few years ago, I decided that I didn't want to be a bystander in my own life anymore. And my guess is that if you're watching this video, you feel the same way. I didn't want to be on autopilot when it came to my career or my dreams. And I decided to be an active participant in my story of how my career and entrepreneurship would play out for me. And if you're starting at the same I don't know what to do phase, you can turn to YouTube like I did for inspiration. I searched YouTube for videos about how people who turn their careers around, and I listened to creators talk about how they transition to different phases in entrepreneurship. I switched from watching TV after work to watching hours of YouTube content to get a clue about what my first steps needed to be towards making that shift. Even when I didn't know exactly where to start, I decided I wanted to change and leverage YouTube as a resource to help me do that. Becoming the hero of your own story doesn't mean that you need to have all of the answers. If you want to know how to reinvent yourself in 2025, you just need to know where to look. And YouTube is a perfect resource to do just that. Tip number two for how to use YouTube to become unrecognizable in 2025 is play make-believe and act on it. Do you remember when you were a little child and your imagination helped you to see animated shapes of animals as you stared up in the sky at the clouds? Or when you were running around the playground with a cape on, but with your imagination you felt like you were really flying in the air like a superhero? Or maybe you had dolls like I did that you fed, or action figures that would fight each other. And in my mind, no one could tell me that those action figures were not in combat and that my rainbow bright doll wasn't eating real food. Well, as silly as that may seem now, you actually have the power to make your real life dreams come true. And if you want to show up differently in your professional life, you'll have to take the leap to suspend your disbelief and dream a little bigger. If you had the job that you wanted, who would you be? If you created your dream business, what would you be doing? Get into the details and get clear on who this version of you is, and imagine what she drinks in the morning. What does that person do on a daily basis? How does that version of you spend time outside of work to support your career goals? For example, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I knew nothing about entrepreneurship in the digital age. I thought entrepreneurs just offered a product or service, and I had no clue that there was so much more to learn. So the older version of me from a few years ago watched YouTube tutorials about email marketing, CRMs, and how to create a virtual community. And I'm so grateful I did it, because the version of me who's sitting in front of this camera has this YouTube channel today as a result of my efforts. Watching tutorials and learning about what the new version of me would do as an entrepreneur helped to fuel my imagination. The more I learned, the more I did, and the more I could imagine doing and becoming. I learned and then I took action on it. Do you see how it works? Now, I have my own catalog of YouTube videos that viewers just like you can watch to learn how to manage teams successfully. I had a vision of what I wanted, and so I set about learning what I needed to know to become the version of me this year that would do all of this. And this year, I'm doing things that will give me results in 2026. The actions that you take today will help you to embody the version of you that does and has the things that you desire, but it begins with taking small actions now. Reality in the 3D, it'll catch up. It's all about what you do now. Tip number 3 for how to use YouTube to become unrecognizable in 2025 is realize that growth isn't linear. This is because the transformation process looks differently for each person. And sometimes it may look like you're moving in the opposite direction from where you wanted to go, but it may turn out to be the best option for you to get to your desired destination. This happened to me. I had recently been promoted to a middle management position, of course in the past, and then my job was made redundant and I had the opportunity to return to my old job. See, the key word here is opportunity. While I was definitely disappointed at the time, I made the best of it and continued to practice the habits that had gotten me promoted in the first place. You see, I was preparing for the next opportunity that I was sure would come my way. And it did. The new job was much better than I had hoped for. But having the perspective, even in my disappointment, required flexibility and faith on my part. It taught me that my career path and my entrepreneurial journey don't need to be linear in order to be successful. One thing that really helped me keep my spirits up at the time was that I would either listen to positive affirmations on YouTube or listen to upbeat lo-fi music on YouTube as my background noise while I worked. I would pop my earbuds in and let the positivity support me during that confusing time. And you can do the same thing to support yourself in your journey. That's why I'm creating a catalog of hundreds of YouTube videos to curate the information for you and give you the facts on how to be a good manager and how to lead your team well. I want you to have easy access to leadership tips and information via my playlist on my YouTube channel. And if you want a deep dive on how to level up in business, check out my mini course on how to make an impressive impact as a business professional. In less than 30 minutes, I remove all of the guesswork with a guided 6-step process where you'll learn how to create a simple success action plan to achieve your goals. The link is in the description box. I'll leave you with this. I believe that setting clear intentions is powerful, and writing down what you want can help you gain clarity. So here's a simple journal prompt that you can use, write down to help you out. If I could snap my fingers and I couldn't fail, my professional goals would be, now you insert the rest. Write freely. Let us know one thing from your list in the comments below. I'd love to cheer you on and support your dreams. Now, if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you'll get notified when I post more videos just like this one. As always, have a great week, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.